So, Heidi, Matshepo More, of course, denying meddling with the PIC Commission.
And one must remember that the reason why she's actually been suspended from the PIC is because of her interference or her alleged interference with the PIC Commission's work. And this is the decision that the board decided to take in March this year. They said that they have evidence or proof, or because of these allegations that are coming through, they've decided to put her on precautionary suspension. But Matshepo More had a chance to give her version of events. I think many were anticipating her testimony today, but she's basically saying that she has not interfered whatsoever in the work that the Commission is doing. They see the Commission as a very important part in making sure that they bring to light what is actually going on at the PIC. She's saying that from her understanding and from what staff members within the PIC have come to tell her is that they need assistance, and she's never victimized them. But of course we've heard from various witnesses about how she has been at the center of victimizing staff, not only when it comes to the PIC Commission of Inquiry, but in general doings within the PIC. But let's just listen to what she's had to say about how she does not feel as though she's interfered at all.
In the circumstances, I respectfully submit that the allegations of interference are unfounded and certainly not substantiated when scrutinized against the correspondence and documentation I have outlined above and attached here too. I merely reported to the board concerns that were raised by employees to management. At no stage did I attempt to interfere with the Commission's work or the work conducted by Advocate Lover. In conclusion, I want to assure the Commission that I will continue cooperating with the work of the Commission.
So, Heidi, let's talk about the allegations of victimization at the PIC and people not wanting to testify a bit more. You mentioned it a bit earlier, but elaborate on what answers were given with that regard.
Okay, so she's been accused of victimizing PIC staff that have wanted to come to the Commission of Inquiry or that have previously come to testify. But she's saying that she has not victimized anybody. She's saying that certain staff members approached her and said they are more than willing to come to the Commission of Inquiry. But of course, compiling a statement takes much time, and there are major legal costs that come with that. And the staff member said perhaps the PIC should look into getting a senior counsel or a legal team to assist those who wish to compile a statement so that they can present it at the PIC inquiry. So she says the reluctance wasn't that she was victimizing the staff members, but rather that there was no legal team to support staff members, whereas it was previously heard that she had been victimizing these staff members and saying, if you go and testify at this Commission of Inquiry and implicate a number of executives within the PIC and the PIC as a whole, there will be consequences thereof. But she's saying that's not the case. Staff members want a legal team to assist them, which later on the PIC did get a legal team to assist. But she's saying that's not the case. Let's listen to what she had to say about that.
Point out that whilst a number of employees who appeared before the Commission made allegations and or insinuations that I have victimized them, almost all of them have not referred to any specific incident or event to support what, in my view, are overly broad and unsubstantiated allegations. I further wish to highlight that since becoming the CFO, majority of the finance team remains in the employ of the PIC and in my team. In fact, some of the team members who had resigned or moved to other departments have rejoined the finance team.
Now, she also mentioned how the constant reshuffling of finance ministers implicated on the PIC.
Exactly. So one must remember in 2017 we had, I can't even remember how many finance ministers we had, and of course that directly impacts the activities within the PIC because the deputy finance minister automatically becomes the chairperson of the PIC board. But she was saying that during that time it was in Nhlanhla Nene, Pravin Gordhan, as well as Malusi Gigaba, and she was saying that this all changed the way in which executives operated and the roles in which executives acquired, because when Malusi Gigaba came in as finance minister, he requested for all board meetings and all activities with executives and board members to be halted for about 3 months until he is familiar with how the PIC operates. And she's saying that that structure is still in place where executives don't know exactly what roles they should acquire and what responsibilities lie on the CFO and the CEO and the COO, because of course that's different executive positions. And Jill Mark is questioning that and saying, why has there been no resolution taken as to how the PIC executive structure should operate, despite the fact that there's constant reshuffling when it comes to finance ministers. So I think that the report will have to recommend or suggest what could possibly happen, given the fact that we do see a number of finance ministers constantly changing and being replaced with new ones, and that, of course, affects the executive roles within the PIC.
All right, thanks so much for that. We'll leave it right there. Our reporter, Heidi Jokos.